All right, the Detroit Lions and the Rams coming up here in a couple days. Excited for that. The Detroit Lions added an offensive lineman that I think kind of went under the radar. That's really important, and we'll talk all about that. But first, Eagles versus the Packers, and I just want to know in the comments your thoughts about the game in Brazil. I think it's just so unnecessary to travel that far to do that. I get what they're doing; they're trying to expand the brand, but it's just such a popular game, obviously here in the United States, and to take a game away from the home fans of Philadelphia, anybody in the surrounding areas. And then you get there, and of course, the field's all weird. The guys are slipping. It's just like, what are we doing? So I really do hope Jordan Love's okay. But at the same time, it's just like, here we go, right? This is football, and this is part of the game is injuries and the whole thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, the Lions add a big offensive tackle that can also play guard as well. So it's kind of interesting. His name's Jamarco Jones, and this is an old article. This is from 2019. All right, so when he was a rookie, or excuse me, second year out of Ohio State, he spent his rookie season on injured reserve, and so he's got an opportunity to come in. He plays really well in this game, and we don't go through this whole old article, but the point is he was injured his whole rookie year, comes in, plays well, but then he's got just a on and off with injuries. And if he can ever be healthy, this dude's got the size, ability, everything's there for him. So this is why the Lions have done this. Remember, Christian Mahogany, we learned he has mono. We learned that just basically interior offensive linemen, it's like, oh, we're older there. We just are. So it's like we got to be careful. We've got Zeitler. We got to be really careful. Connor Galvin tore his MCL in the first preseason game. So it's like, okay. So our tackle depth is not great. Basically our offensive line depth isn't great. We can make it work. We can shift guys around, but to have Jamarco Jones now, and he's going to start on the practice squad, to have him is like, okay, this feels a little bit better than going out there with and not having, just like what's our depth look like at the offensive line situation. So here's our practice squad, and that's where he will start. But we've got him. Remember, that's a veteran guy that's played. He's tackle, can play some guard as well. I love seeing that. So keep an eye on him and make sure to just kind of, man, as you're watching, especially against the Rams, I think the Lions are going to really run the football. It's like, man, our offensive line, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes said it, is our team. So, man, it's nice to have somebody else back there, and that's huge. Okay, so the Lions signed Jamarco Jones. Love to see that. All across basically the rest of the team is healthy. Melon Fonwu and Lauren are going to be out. That's in the secondary. Nothing too crazy hurt there. DJ Reader's a questionable. Maybe he'll play. Maybe he won't. Perfect. As for the Rams, they've got injuries. They've got suspensions. Good news for the Lions, I guess. But it's going to come down to if the Lions can run the football. And I think they absolutely can. I can't wait to see that. Another guy that keep an eye out for on Sunday is Levi Onwuzurike. Dan Campbell said this has been his best spring. He came in, clearly looked better. He looked healthy. He's big. He's strong. Then training camp with pads, 30 days, hard, heavy work, live days, you name it, and he's there. No indication that this is not holding up in talking about his back. He looks strong and powerful as ever. I think he's here to stay. So nothing's going to tell me that it's not, and that's really been the holdback. And it is his body, trust in his body. Then once his body's going to hold up, now he starts banking the reps. So we keep talking about Levi. Don't forget about him. We will see him at that defensive tackle position. Remember, he was really the first pick of Brad Holmes's tenure. After Penei Sewell, he took him and was just like, all right, who's this guy? Washington. Remember, it's 2021, so we were in COVID. He hadn't played, or it was kind of more difficult to evaluate players. And then he just had injuries. Well, what if he's good? Now you've got him, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader. Now the defensive line truly is good. have not been able to say that since Brad Holmes has been here. It's been like, hey, we've got Aiden Hutchinson, Aleve McNeil's on the rise, but now you've put Aiden third year, Aleem McNeil fully developed, ready to go. You've got DJ Reader, veteran, boom. Levi, who can be a really good piece. So keep an eye on Levi. Dan Campbell says he's strong. Love it. Love everything that he's doing. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, now as we look towards the Rams and you talk about what can we expect? Here was an article talking about basically Matt Stafford, and it was from an LA Rams writer. No surprise here. He was excellent. This is Matt Stafford in the second half of last season, playing some of the best football I've seen him play. But all accounts, he's carried that over in the summer. I expect him another strong season with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua if they can both stay healthy. So why do I say this? Like, kind of obvious, duh. But I think we forget Matt Stafford's a gamer, man. He is, and he's going to have an opportunity to keep them in the game. So Lions, it's going to be a tough game, but Lions at home, I love this spot. I love the fans are just ready to go, pick up right where they left off last year. I can't wait to see it. In other news too, Kelly Stafford's back just talking. Let me know in the comments if she drives you crazy. At first I thought, here's my history of Kelly Stafford. Was first it was like, oh man, you know what? This goes back, again, 15 years ago or whatever, like the start of the social media time, and she's talking a little bit, and it's like, what's kind of cool is see like her side of things, or get a little bit behind the scenes of Stafford a little bit with her talking, sharing stuff on social media. And then it's just progressively gotten worse and worse. And then she's made comments about Detroit, both just open her mouth just a little too much. And it's like, man, this is annoying. She had the incident where she was like stuck in traffic, and she's like, doesn't anybody have a job? And this is when she's in Detroit traffic. Obviously she doesn't. She's made comments that are just like, why would you say that? And now when they were traded, when Stafford was traded to LA, she was like, I love Detroit. And that, again, it always starts off like, man, that's cool. I appreciate that. I do see that. I see that you guys did a lot here. You had a family here, raised kids. Cool. And then she just won't let it go. And that's her latest thing now, is she's like, keeps talking about how special Detroit was and how this might be Stafford's last time ever playing in Detroit. And it's like, I just feel like it's over. You've gone. You've got a great life in LA, and you won a Super Bowl. It's good. See ya. See ya. We don't care anymore. I think she's like, man, they really want to know how I feel, and we don't. Let me know your thoughts on Kelly Stafford, the game in Brazil, and we'll see all of you on the next one.